Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, Jelaine and I make caramels with bourbon and sea salt, suitable for gift giving. And I prepare a Christmas Eve tradition, smelts. But first, the flowers of the season. Chuck's Greenhouse grows thousands of poinsettias each year. Red, white, jingle bell, pink, a huge variety of colors and sizes. Chuck is the expert on this traditional Christmas plant. Well, as you can see, it is Christmas Central. We're out here on Route 45 in North Jackson at Chuck's Greenhouse, and this is Chuck, the owner, the horticulturalist.
Yeah.
And you have a half an acre here.
Yes.
Of poinsettias.
Just about.
Now, is it poinsettia or poinsettia?
Depends on how sophisticated you want to sound.
So poinsettia would be the sophisticated,
yes.
And poinsettia is just
what we
the
call
street
it.
lingo.
Yeah.
And that's what you call
yes.
it? So I'm going to go with you on
okay.
that. When do you begin this process?
We start planting in July, like the 10-inch pots, which would be this size here. We plant the first week of July, so they're actually planted before you even celebrate 4th of July.
What attracted you to the poinsettia?
I just think it's a very pretty plant, and I was bored at Christmas time because I was always shutting down at Halloween and nothing to do from then on, so we started growing poinsettias.
And you grow them from, you were telling me, not really from seed.
Yes, they're grown from a cutting.
Is business good? Is it increasing? What do you see happening with the poinsettia market?
The retail market is very flat. The wholesale we do okay with. The church market is where, if it weren't for the churches, we wouldn't grow poinsettias. That's the only thing that keeps us.
They use it, what, as a fundraiser?
For decoration for Christmas, to decorate the altars with.
But this would also be like a good fundraising
Yes, we do.
project.
We have a couple fundraisers.
Is there a difference in quality of the poinsettia plants?
Most of the varieties are all good varieties. Most of it, how well they live for you, has to do with just how well you take care of them, which is where an independent grower like myself can excel at, because we keep them watered. We're here taking care of them every day. Some of the other stores that are rather large get them shipped in and they sit on a cart in a sleeve, and if you buy them, you get, whenever they were watered at the greenhouse before they were shipped.
So it could be dehydrated.
So if they're, once a poinsettia dries out, that's what kills them.
Jen Lahotsky is Chuck's wife, and she too is an authority on the poinsettia. Now, what am I looking for when I'm buying a poinsettia to take home and enjoy through Christmas?
Well, what you really want to look for is you want to look for something that's colored up very nicely. You want something that's about at this stage right here, because this isn't quite colored up enough, okay?
Okay, so there's no such thing as blue poinsettia.
No, not to
date. And when I see all these crazy colors, so how do you do that?
That is also a special product that we have. It is a dye that's made for the poinsettias, also not harmful. Next step is we add the glue and the glitter.
And this glue is also non-toxic, and it won't, we'll leave it porous so it can breathe.
Right,
okay.
It's not Elmer's.
All right. Once I get my poinsettia, get it home immediately, what's the best way to transport it?
Yes, absolutely. Get it home immediately. Do not spend any more time outside than you have to. We sleeve it in either plastic or we have paper sleeves. Plastic sleeves we use on the warmer days when it's not too chilly outside. It's a little less expensive for us. And you don't need the protection like you do on a really, really cold day. When it is cold outside, we do use the paper sleeves. It gives a little more insulation value to protect the plant.
So now you've met the growers, one of the few in our area, and you learned all those great tips. So now you got to come out to Chuck's and get your poinsettias for the holidays. What are your hours of operation?
Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And then Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we are always closed on Sundays.
All right, always closed on Sundays.
Always.
Special orders are taken if you want
Sure.
special crazy colors.
Absolutely, give us a call.
And if you want, to buy for your church or office or whatever,
Oh,
just give them
absolutely.
a
We
call.
service over 50 churches, so.
Well, I cannot thank you two enough for your hospitality.
Oh, thank you for coming out.
This was so much fun.
Great.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Come out to Chuck's. We'll be right back with more local flavor. I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery, and fall specials are here. Look at these beautiful
Yes, Casey.
cocktails.
Yes, they are. These are actually some of the drinks that our bar team developed here. We have a pumpkin spice latte martini. We have a devil's blood drink here. And then we have an apple cider sangria here using local cider from the area here that we represent for the city.
And I'll tell you, the farm to table continues into fall.
Yes.
Chef Reggie has got excellent specials
Yes,
each and every
yes,
night.
yes. We're still using the farm to table menu, supporting the local farms. It's a different mix and match every night. Reggie's creative mind just runs back there and we just let him go with it. And if you guys been here before, you've experienced some of his dishes.
And remember, it is eat, drink, and celebrate, and that party room is ready to go.
Yes.
Come on out to the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Fall is in the air.
Salud.
Cheers.
At the Vein Center and Med Spa, we realize the serious health issue varicose veins can cause. We know it's more than just cosmetic. We provide you with caring and personal service in a clean and friendly atmosphere. All vein procedures are done in our office during convenient and flexible hours by a medical doctor with over 20 years experience. The Vein Center and Med Spa also offers fillers and neurotoxin procedures, hydrofacials, and laser hair removal services. Call the Vein Center and Med Spa for a free consultation. See why our patients leave satisfied. Now accepting Anthem and Highmark.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in an automobile accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may encounter. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court. And remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at elizabethbernardlaw.com.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency. We work with several insurance companies to offer you choices for your insurance needs. We'll find the right product at the right price. Personal, business, farm, life. Trust Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important, we'll take care of the details. Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
We do catering 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything you want. So if you want us to do one thing or everything for your holiday party, we can do it. We can do it with Gourmet to Go. We can do it with our off-premise catering. We can do anything that you want. We have lots of great restaurants in our community, but I would like to be the one that impresses your family and friends this year during the holidays. I want everybody coming through that door to leave here with a good experience.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. Shop Rulli Brothers, home of the famous Evening Express.
It is holiday time in my mom's kitchen, and we are not big bakers.
No.
But the caramels we made around Kentucky Derby time with the bourbon and the sea salt, oh my gosh, were those
Big
delicious. And it's really a pretty easy recipe.
It is.
And I bought some really festive wax paper wraps. They're so pretty. And we're gonna wrap them in these. And then we can hand them out to our friends at Christmas time, and they're gonna think that we're really big sports.
That's right.
And that we know what we're doing, but we actually don't. So we're gonna make up a batch, And I'm also, a little bit later on, gonna do the eggnog frappe.
Oh, that's good.
For this recipe, you'll need 2 cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of light corn syrup, 1/4 cup water, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 1/2 cup of butter sliced into pieces, 2 tablespoons of bourbon, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, and sea salt flakes for garnish. This is really an easy recipe. The 2 cups of sugar go in, and then the 1/2 cup of corn syrup, and then the water. Now's the hard part. We are going to take this over to the stove, medium heat, liquefy until it is a deep amber color. All right, this is the hardest part of this recipe. It is a good 10 minutes to get the amber color. See, right now, it is just liquefied. Nice, clear color. Well, thanks for stepping up. My arm was getting a little tired.
Well, I need a little bit of exercise.
I'll tell you, it takes a while for it to get that amber color, but then once it starts to turn, it's quick. You gotta hurry up and jump on it. But so I'm keeping an eye on you. Well, according to my candy dandy thermometer, it is at 240 degrees. If by chance you don't have one, you just go right there, glop it in ice water, and it is balling up. Let's see. Yep. And look at that.
There it is.
And I turned off the heat, and let me grab these. Add the kosher salt and our bourbon. There we go, a little more chemical reaction. And we'll go and put this in the pan. An 8x8 or a 9x9 lined with parchment paper, and then spray some non-stick spray on top. And by the magic of television, I made a batch last night, and let it cool to room temperature before you put it in the fridge. At least a few hours, but I think overnight's good.
That's right.
So, here it is. Okay, come on out, buddy.
There we go.
So take it out of the pan, and we flatten it up. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, there's a little chunk there, a little treat for you. Now is a good time to sprinkle it with the sea salt. And I, of course, love the Malden. And I mean, it is such a perfect mix of sweet and salt. Now, there's a lot of flavor packed in these, so you don't want to make really big pieces. Wait about 20 minutes after you remove it from the refrigerator so it's easier to work with. And then you just cut the little pieces. There you go. And with our new fancy wrappers, instead of wax paper, you just put it in.
Put it in, roll it out.
Look at that. Oh my. Give it a little twist on the ends. And look at that. Gift worthy. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna go after you. That one's coming off. I'm gonna have to train her again. Well, you had one of these last night.
I did.
And delicious. Ken thought of this brilliant way to lighten up the eggnog. I mean, no matter what you're gonna do, eggnog is
Part of the
highly caloric. So he comes up with this idea where he blends it with ice. So I'll quickly go over this. This is a made-up recipe, and these are approximate measurements, equal parts ice. So for 2 drinks, we'll do 1 cup of ice, and then I just am using a store-bought eggnog, and 1 cup of that, okay? Whoops. So we go into there, and then that is 1.5 ounces of dark rum. But you can use bourbon. You know, you can use whatever you'd like to use in there. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now, that is for the garnish. So now we put this on, hit it on blend. One.
After all our hard work with the candy, we
know, we
deserve
really
a
have
martini.
Ooh, excuse me. We're kind of like Lucy and Ethel.
Yes.
But this makes a nice portion.
I didn't stuff any down my pockets or.
Then with some fresh ground nutmeg on the top. So let me know what you think. Cheers. It is delicious.
Another wonderful recipe. Here's to our Kenny.
Here's to Kenny, Santa Claus. And I'll tell you, the caramels look beautiful. This drink is light and refreshing, and you won't feel so bogged down. And all the recipes are on my website, caseymalone.show.com. You're going to have a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
With these little treats.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
Open the Jewel Box, the Courthouse Inn, organic vegetarian comfort food, handcrafted cocktails, fine wine and beer, fresh baked cakes and pies. Recharge your senses at the Courthouse Spa. Dazzling dining, artfully prepared, locally sourced ingredients, spa services. The Courthouse Inn feels like a world away, just down the road in historic Lisbon, Ohio.
There's a new standard in assisted living, one that combines comfort, luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
Christmas morning, for anybody, it is extremely exciting. But here at Kamara Jewelers, we also have that feeling for all of the customers that have come in.
So we've done the snow promotion the last couple years, and I really swore that it was going to happen last year. This is going to be the year. If it snows 4 more inches on Christmas Day, any purchase made from December 1st to December 18th, then you get your money back. I mean, that would be amazing.
Get real, get Kamara.
At Rulli Brothers, the family is in the store. Meats, deli, produce, even the checkout. We work hard to ensure that you get the best products at a personal shopping experience. At Rulli Brothers Markets, our customers are our top priority. Our family is in the store.
You are going to love this cooking segment. One of my favorite things is the butterfly fried smelts. I absolutely love them. I always call them Newcastle smelts because when I'd go to restaurants in Newcastle like Pegley's or the Crane Room or Medura's, they're light, they're opened up, they're almost like eating a potato chip. And I saw some smelts and I bought the bag. They're cleaned, heads off, and I tried to make them at home and they just didn't taste right. So I was discussing this with my friend Anna from La Rocca's, and she says, well, you have to remove that spine. Lights go on, and I figured out that secret. So I've been removing the spine, and boy, are these delicious. You are going to love this recipe. It's really easy. Smelts are not just for Christmas Eve. You can make these every day of the year, and everyone will love them. So let's get started, and we're gonna make the butterfly fried smelts today. For this recipe, you'll need 1 pound bag of frozen clean smelts, 2 eggs beaten with 1/8 cup of water, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, optional, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper, canola or peanut oil for frying, 1 gallon size storage bag, a 1/2 cup of fresh chopped parsley for garnish, and lemon wedges. I've already cleaned some of the smelts. There's probably about 50 to 60 smelts per pound bag, 2 to 3 inches long. It's a little tedious, but once you get the hang of it, it moves very quickly. So what we'll do is start with a fork. Now you take the back, it's already partially opened, and then I just fling it open all the way with the fork. And then beginning at the fatter part where the head was, you just use the fork tine to take it and strip out that spine. See, right there? And then I just lay them on a paper towel to dry. So now that we've gotten the bones out of there, the easiest way to do it is almost shake and bake style. I just get a bigger bag, and I like the fine cornmeal. So use a cup of that, cup of flour. Then I'm going to use, now I like a little spice, so I put some of my Slap Your Mama in. You do not have to do that if you don't want any spice. But I do like the taste of the garlic, so I'm using garlic powder. And then, about a 1/2 teaspoon or so of salt. You can always add more when they come out of the fryer. And then, of course, you know me, I love my fresh ground pepper. So now we just take that and shake it all up to get it mixed thoroughly. You can add milk if you'd like, but I think just a little bit of water to the egg wash, and just make sure you beat it really well so it's real light and airy. See all the bubbles? You just want that really foamy. Okay. Now, I usually do this about 10 at a time, a dozen at a time, and then I just drop them right there in the wash. And let them soak around there a little bit. And then pull them out one at a time. Try to leave them open. Let them drip, and then you just drop them right in the bag. I mean, it's a little messy, not that messy. We'll do it that way. My hands, ugh. All right, and then you just go. And use the finer cornmeal because it sticks a little better. There you go. Now we'll take them out and you open them up. See, and they're all covered nicely. And you just lay them right back down. I'm gonna use canola oil to fry this, but peanut oil works well too. And you want the oil temperature to be about 160 to 175. And if you don't have a thermometer to measure the heat, you can also use a wooden spoon and just stick it in. And when you see the bubbles form, that means you have temperature. Good enough for frying. So now we have our oil ready to go. I like to start with the skin side down. So there we go. Throw these in. They're only going to be about 2 minutes on this side and about a minute on the other side. These cook very quickly. Restaurant quality smelts, and they were super easy. I absolutely love these. Lemon, a little bit of parsley on top, and you are good to go. Now, some people like the cocktail sauce, but I think it fights with the fresh, clean taste of the smelts. So I squeeze some lemon, and you know what else I like for a little more heat? I like the green Tabasco sauce. And I put that on a little bit of mine. And I just think it makes them that much more fun. Now remember, if you don't want the hot sauce, you don't have to add it. These are delicious. Great for a crowd. Make them in batches just for a few people. But people that say they don't like smelts, make sure they try these because they are going to love them. And with smelts, I think a nice cold beer is in order as a pairing. I'm using the Modelo Especial. I really like the Mexican beers. And this is perfect palate cleanser to wash down those delicious smelts. If you need the recipe, just go to my website, caseymalone.com, for the fried butterfly smelts. You are going to love them as much as I do. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.